Good evening. I would call the October 15th regular Board of Trustees meeting for the official Dearborn School Board to order. I'd like to entertain a motion to appoint Mary Ann as the acting secretary in Tina's absence.
I'll move.
I'll second.
All opposed? The ayes are both opposed.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you so much. Thanks, Karen. It's going to be very bitter tomorrow. We're going to try and read this, and it's going to be blood. Kowalski? Okay, I think we're voting on mine.
Yes.
So it's really yes or no. So Kowalski?
We're voting on her being secretary, so yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. No, that's after I do this. Chura?
Yes, ma'am.
Seki, yes. Downs, absent. Iwanio, absent. Flanagan?
Yes.
Gaddishewski, absent. Motion passes.
Let's call the regular, the regular board meeting to order here at 7:01 p.m. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay. Call the roll. Seki, present. Downs, absent. Iwanio, absent. Flanagan?
Yes. Here.
Gaddishewski, absent. Kowalski?
Here.
Mr. Chura?
Here.
Also in attendance is Dr. Kim Borszewski, Mr. Aaron Schilling, Ms. Kathy Brandt, Mr. Eric Humbles, Mr. Mike Deeney, Ms. Melissa Kartzimus, Ms. Constance Stavro, Dr. Kristen Kafta, sorry, Ms. Donna Maglione, Mr. Brian Amsler, Ms. Rula Bajian, and Ms. Louise Stomper.
Don't forget our lawyers.
I apologize.
They don't want to leave her. Pledge to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
How are you?
Consent agenda. I'd like to entertain a motion the Board of Education establish the consent agenda items as presented.
I'll second.
Rich, Mary Ann. Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Kowalski? Mr. Chura?
Yes, ma'am.
Seki, yes. Downs is absent. Iwanio, absent. Flanagan?
Yes.
Gaddishewski is absent. Motion passes.
Approval of the consent agenda. I'd like to entertain a motion the Board of Education approve the consent agenda. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second by Rich. Any questions?
Kowalski? Mr. Chura?
Yes.
Seki is yes. Downs is absent. Iwanio, absent. Flanagan?
Yes.
Gaddishewski is absent. The motion passes.
Payment of legal bills, superintendent's recommendations, superintendent recommends payment of legal bills. Okay. So like this one, right? Yeah. I'd like to entertain a motion, Board of Education approve the payment of legal fees for Kohler and Passerella LLC, the amount of $1,610 as presented.
motion.
Second.
Second by, yeah. Any questions?
Is this the same bill we tried to pass last one?
It is. It's a new invoice, but it's the same bill.
It's the same bill but different invoice?
Yes.
Okay, and this was all stuff that had to be after we received the report from tax value. This was all phone calls after that.
These were follow-up questions
Okay.
that Mr. Passarelli answered that were posed to him by a board member.
Okay,
He did answer the questions and he did provide a service to the board.
thank you.
Any other questions? Call the roll, Maureen.
Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Chura?
Yes.
Diseki, no. Downs is absent. Donnie is absent. Flanagan?
No.
Motion failed. Okay. I would like to entertain a motion that the Board of Education approve the payment of legal fees for Scario and Hines for the amount of $3,188.85 as presented.
I'll move.
Second.
Mary Ann Rich. Any questions?
Nope.
Call the roll, please.
Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Chura?
Yes, ma'am.
Diseki, yes. Downs absent. Absent. Flanagan?
Yes.
Absent.
Motion passed. Public participation, Kara Bloomquist. Come on up. I'll leave it over. Jeez. Good evening. Name and address, please.
What's that?
Name and address, please.
Kara Blomquist, 9879 Garden Court, Schulen Park. Diane Mariota could not be here with us tonight, but on behalf of the athletic boosters, we wanted to invite the entire board and administration to come to our 5th annual spaghetti dinner, excuse me, at Lincoln here on October 24th. It's from 5 until 8. We're passing out the invitations now if you, or I don't know who you can give them to, make sure that everybody else gets them. We would really appreciate it. But yeah, so we would definitely appreciate your support and love for you all to be there with us.
Do you know how to work on compliments?
It's really good.
I know.
We don't want to sit.
No places need at the racetrack on Friday nights.
Okay, you want to cough at 4 o'clock.
Thank you. Principal reports, enrollment. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, examples of excellence, District 81 student achievement data.
I'm just writing the notes. I don't have any place to write. I'm just writing. Okay? Sorry, and I'm writing it down.
You'll let us know if we need the microphone, right? So, the administration annually presents our student achievement data at this board meeting in October. We're always very excited because it's always very stellar due to the hard work of our educators that come to the classrooms every day and give their all to our kids, so we thank them for that. I'm just going to open up on our demographics. We had a little bit of a shift. Thank you. Minor, nothing major. We are seeing a little shift with our white and our Hispanic population. They've been competing. You know, last year our Hispanic population was just a little ahead of our white population, and this year our white population is just a little ahead of our Hispanic population. For whatever reason, they're just having fun throwing back and forth. You can go ahead, Erin. Tina and Melissa are going to talk to you a little bit about assessments and what we're using in District 81. They're going to go into our students' performance on map data as well as our students' performance on the Explore. Kristen's going to talk a little bit about how our students fared on the access test, which we're very proud of that. And then I'm going to go into next steps, our strategies that we're going to implement for continued improvement, as well as our celebrations.
The assessments that our kids took last year were ISAT, Park Pilot, NWA MAP, and Access. For FY14, this was the last year that the kids took ISAT, as given by the state of Illinois. The ISAT format was 100% aligned to the Common Core, unlike FY13, which was only 20% of the 20% of it was aligned to the Common Core. The Illinois Board of Education did not release any of the AYP data as of now. Several grades piloted the PARC assessment, which was both computer-based and pencil and paper. The results of the PARC pilot were not shared with the school districts or parents of the students who participated in that assessment. NWA MAP assessment has provided School District 81 with steady and consistent student achievement data for the past 15 years. And the other final test is the Access test, which is the Assessing Comprehensive and Communication in English State to State for English language learners, which we gave to the children in January. And this tests and assesses 4 domains. They're listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The assessment determines English proficiency levels and allows students to attain English proficiency to exit the English language learner program. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about NWEA MAP. MAP creates a personalized assessment experience by adapting each student's learning level. The assessments are immediate. We get instant data. We inform instruction using valid, reliable, and real-time data. We measure the growth of every student over time, regardless if they're below, above, or on grade level. And MAP test provides a standard measurement called a RIT. And this is a unit of measure that uses individual item difficulty values to estimate students' achievement. RIT scores create an equal interval scale. So we're always looking at the RIT scores and seeing how they're progressing. District 81 implements NWA assessment 3 times a year. So we do one in the fall, in the winter, and in the spring. Each student receives a growth projection after the fall test that provides an estimation of what should be considered a reasonable growth expectation. The projected RIT is based on student grade level and the starting RIT scores in subjects. Finally, NWA generally observes that approximately 50 to 60% of our students nationwide meet or exceed their growth projections.
So this graph illustrates the percentage of our students in the district across the grades. We do have some students in 2nd grade who take the math test all the way through 8th grade. And this shows the percentage of our students who are meeting their spring target. So again, keep in mind, each child receives an individualized spring target or projected RIT score that we hope that they can accomplish and reach by the end of the year. They receive that spring target when they take it in the fall. So based on their grade level, based on their starting fall RIT, we can see what their projected score is by the end of the year. Again, keep in mind, NWEA's research indicates that approximately 50 to 60% of our students nationwide actually will meet or exceed their target RIT by spring. And that 50 to 60% is illustrated by the yellow bar on this graph. So as you can see, District 81 is doing a great job as compared to the percentage that NWEA states that 50 to 60% will meet their target. And many of our students are exceeding that percentage that NWEA shares. The next graph, we're going to go on to one more slide, but after we administer the spring map, we also looked at not only the students who met their spring target, but we also looked district-wide at the percentage of students who made growth towards their spring target. We think it's important to value growth as well. And district-wide, when we look at reading and math respectively, 84% of students in District 81 showed growth in the area of reading, and 91% of students district-wide showed growth and made progress in the area of math.
Before you go on,
Yep.
could I ask a clarifying question about the last graph?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go back.
Okay, so the yellow bar is where they should be in the spring.
No, every student receives their own individual spring number. So based on how they scored in the fall and based on the grade level that they're in, their fall score and the subject area, they receive a target. So each individual student receives their own individual target.
Okay.
Now this is the percentage of students who met their spring target based on each grade level. So you can see in second grade, reading is illustrated in purple, blue is illustrating math. And that's the percentage of students in second grade who reached that spring target. So it's an individualized score based on each student. Now, NWEA map tells us that across the country, typically 50 to 60% of kids reach their target by the end of the year. So as you can see in fourth grade, we're well above that 50 to 60% range. So in reading and math, for example, in fourth grade, we're close to 70 and above 70% of our students in that grade level met their spring target.
Okay.
Sound good? Sure, good question. So this graph just shows something a little bit different. This is showing us the percentage of students who made growth in general. So they increased as little as 1 point, but they're showing growth towards their target. So we're looking at the percentage of students in second grade all the way through eighth who made growth in general last year on their math test.
Okay, this is the details for the Explore. So our children took, last year's children took the Explore test, and this is how they placed. So in regards to reading, 25% placed in honors, 50% placed in regulars, and then 25% placed in academy. Math, even a little bit higher, 29% placed in honors math, and 44% in regular, and 27% in academy. And finally, science, 37% honors, 45 regulars, 18 academy. So our children are definitely performing when taking this test and reaching placements, reaching higher placements at Leiden. So, and as you look, if you look at the historical data, you'll notice a trend that those numbers keep going up.
Going up, meaning we're seeing less students in academy and more students in honors, which is very exciting. We looked at that today. And we thought about including it, but there was just a lot of information.
Yeah.
So this graph represents the students in Schiller Park who are English language learners. Last year we had 20 languages, and this past fiscal year, FY14, we added one more language. I'd like to point that out. It was Greek. They're being recruited. I'm not going to say by who. So you'll see that we have a really diverse population, and some of these students represented here come to us with no English whatsoever. Some are coming from other programs, transferring in from other schools. But basically, we see such a, in the next slide, please, that our largest amount is at Kennedy, of English language learners is at Kennedy. And research shows that it takes 5 to 7 years to attain the English language, academic language. You'll see that starting in third grade, so after the fourth year of them being in our program, we start to see a lot of students exiting. So these are students who've obtained the English language, the academic language, and the trend continues on. Next slide, please. And we take a close look at our data of the students who are staying in the program for more than 3 years, who have not exited our program, and we're finding that many of these students are labeled both LEP and IEP. And and we serve them a little differently. So students who have an IEP, normally that IEP is generated after they've already been labeled LEP, and they're still expected to take the access test and perform as their regular ed peers. So we do provide a little something different for those students, but they do still seem to stay in our programming a little bit longer. You know, we look at this data a million different ways and tear it apart, and then I ask those questions like that last slide. I said, well, I want to know who the kids are that are still in there after 3 years. And they roll their eyes at me, and then they come back with these beautiful graphs and this awesome information. It's important to know that, though, and it's important to ask those questions and really tear that data apart so we can continue to see the achievement that we see. Going forward, These are the things that we'll continue to focus on. You know, our teachers will continue to bring best practice ELL strategies in their classrooms. They continue to go back to school and educate themselves with their ELL and bilingual endorsements. We have an administrator that's going to have her bilingual endorsement very soon. Mrs. Maglione is taking the class currently. Our SMART goals will be tightly aligned to the students' achievement on MAP assessment, mine, the principals, the teams, so that just brings it all together. We're excited to be able to bring MyOn teaching tool to our classrooms this year. It's just recently been implemented, and giving teachers real-time access to, and students actually, access to libraries of 6,000 plus books, providing Lexile levels, interest surveys, assessments, different from Accelerated Reader, which was a program that we used in the past. This is just much more dynamic, and teachers are able to use this both as a tool and an incentive program for our students. I'm excited. We're partnering with NWEA this year. They're going to come into our district and provide staff development. We have something scheduled actually next week or the week after for our curriculum facilitators and our team leaders and administrators. And it is important to bring the professionals in and refresh us and hear from them. Oftentimes we go out, we get information, we bring it back, and we do train the trainer. So we're excited to work directly with the consultant from NWEA. And again, the teachers will continue to refine their curriculum and their assessments to make sure we're tightly aligned to the Common Core. We had many celebrations last year and continue to with, as I said, 57 teachers in District 81 hold their ELL or bilingual endorsement. 57. 17 additional are currently enrolled. Why? Because that was the need. And we went to them and we said, hey, these are our kids, this is our population, are you willing to do this? And they did, and that's amazing. And that has impacted how our students are achieving on so many different levels, and I commend them for their commitment. Thank you. We will continue to partnership with the Schiller Park Recreation Department to provide after-school care to our students. Record number of kids in that program. That tells us the need is there. I will tell you, Kristen and Melissa do an outstanding job making sure those kids are where they need to be, and that's constantly changing on a daily basis, so I thank them for that. We went through a compliance visit last year with the State Board of Ed on our ELL programming and our model. I am so excited. We are 100% in compliance. We just got our letter from the State Board of Ed within the last 3 weeks, commending our programming and the changes that we made to bring ourselves to full compliance. So thanks to the board for allowing us to provide those resources. As you know, our 8th grade girls were the Lions champs in basketball, so that was something to celebrate. Many of you probably saw the article in the Franklin Park Herald, I think it was. 36% of East Leiden's top 10 scholars were District 81 alumni from the class of 2000. And of course, the District 81 band received a superior rating at the Bandorama contest. No big surprise there. These are our resources. Last year was the Illinois School Boards Association centennial. So the board asked us to create a video, and we did that. And then this year, they're doing this initiative, Stand Up for Public Education. So I was contacted by the School Board Association because they said that our video last year was a stellar example, and they were hoping that we could be part of the pilot and be one of the front runners in creating a video for this initiative. So Kathy Brandt did an outstanding job in creating this video, and we submitted it. And I got an email today from the School Board Association thanking us for this stellar video, and that video is up on the website at the School Board Association's website. But we're going to share it with you now. So thank you. Helped us. We have people here that helped us with the video, so for those of you that stepped up and helped us, we thank you very much. It really turned out awesome. While he's working on that, I also want to thank these administrators. They do an outstanding job providing. And thank you for your help on the presentation. It's awesome. So, I'm going to sit.
So after this year, we're going to have 74 teachers that are certified for now. That's outstanding, and I think that I should clap for that. Maybe we can discuss the next item while we're waiting.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Eric, it's the big time now. Uh-oh.
Netflix, Orange is the New Black.
Years from now, it will not matter what kind of car you drove, what kind of house you lived in, how much you had in your bank account, or what your clothes looked like. But the world may be a little better because you were important in the life of a child.
Education is for improving the lives of others and for leaving your community and world better than you found it. A quotation from Marian Wright Edelman, American activist for the rights of children.
There is a place in America to take a stand. It is public education. It is the underpinning of our cultural and political system. It is the great common ground. Public education, after all, is the engine that moves us as a society toward a common destiny. It is in public education that the American dream gets to take shape. A quotation from Tom Brokaw.
Good morning, I'm Mayor Barb Hiltager with the Village of Schiller Park, and we're here today to support Project Hartwell for District 81 schools. I'm Kitch Gorzinski, Village Trustee.
I'm Moses Diaz, Village Trustee.
And
we stand up for public schools. Hi, I'm Sergeant D. Small with the Schiller Park Police Department. I stand up for public schools because I think they unify a diverse population by including everybody from the area, which results in a common culture.
Hello, I'm Assistant Commander Thomas Head. I am also the DARE officer and the SRO for School District 81. I support public schools in that they treat all students equal, including those with special needs. I have a very special experience in that I helped coach the cross-country team this year for Lincoln Middle School. Two students that had never had a chance to be on a team ran for Lincoln Middle School, and this became a life-changing moment for me.
We love our school district because
we have state-of-the-art technology and facilities.
We have teachers, administrators, and staff that go above and beyond.
How many districts have a superintendent that knows every child's name and appearance?
We are the parents of Schiller Park District 81, and we stand up for public schools.
Schiller Park Fire Department stands up for public schools.
outstanding job on that. Thank you very much for your work on that. Are there any questions on the student achievement presentation from the board?
Board business, Transit Radwood School Law Seminar.
It's Wednesday, October 29th, 4 o'clock. Oh, okay.
The IASB Works Conference coming up here next month. There's Friday daytime workshops. Everybody should have a thing on their board packet. Plan on attending. Fill out, if you're done, fill out, bring it up here, please. New business, 5-year enrollment figures, action. I'd like to entertain a motion that the Board of Education approve the library grant application as presented.
I'll move.
Second?
Any questions? Call the roll.
Kowalski,
Yes.
Ventura,
Yes.
Kiseki, yes. Downs? Yes. Juanio?
This is the library, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Flanagan?
Yes.
Gaddishewski?
Yes.
Motion passes.
I'd like to entertain a motion the Board of Education approve a second public participation at Board of Education meetings.
I'll move. I'll second.
I'd like to discuss that. I did some FOIA research the last couple of weeks, and I got 9 different districts. Only one has 2 participations. Everybody else just has 1 at the start. So I don't know why we would need 2.
Do you remember why you asked for it before? Because last time you had it before, you asked for it.
I'm just looking at this, and nobody's using 2 anymore. We're just using 1, if anybody wants to look at it.
No.
Right here.
Well, I think since people requested that we have 2, there must be an issue.
I don't know if there's an issue.
Well, they must be able
You
to.
can always leave a note to the board for next month, too. I mean,
It's 30 days away. I mean, if we're
or
going to,
superintendent.
if we're going to allow second participation, it's generally because of things that were discussed during the meeting.
Is there any maybe choice of moving it to later in the meeting?
Well, really, I don't think that would be appropriate, only for the fact that some people don't need to stay for the whole meeting.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be at the end of the meeting, it could be maybe before executive session.
Well, where do you plan on putting this?
Oh, I plan on voting yes.
Well, no, where are we gonna put it on the agenda?
I was thinking before executive session.
I think it should be after executive session.
Okay. I mean, I don't know why we would want to. Do you want to?
Well, a lot of people stay for executive session, so, and we do vote on stuff when we come out of executive session. I mean, if they got questions, they can ask about it. There's only nothing in executive session, you know that.
I guess we could try it that way for a while, and if there's an issue, we can always bring it up again.
Any other questions? Call the roll there.
Kowalski?
No.
Ventura?
No.
Kiseki, yes. Downs?
Yes.
Juanio?
I'm gonna abstain.
Flanagan?
Yes.
Gaddishewski?
No.
Motion failed?
No, actually, it's. I don't think it is. No. Right.
Personnel. I'd like like to entertain a motion, Board of Education approve the hiring of the following classified staff. Ita Siwa, for paraprofessional at Washington School, effective October 6th. Joseph Capo, paraprofessional, Washington School, effective October 14th. Christina Gonzalez, paraprofessional, Kennedy School, effective October 14th. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second by Pat. Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Kowalski?
Yes.
Stuchura?
Yes.
Dusecki, yes. Downs?
Yes.
Lwania?
Yes.
Flanagan?
Yes.
Gattashewski?
Yes.
Motion passed. I'd like to entertain a motion, Board of Education, to accept the following resignations. Ellison Lipner, Eisenbacher, District Nurse, effective October 6th, 2014. Melissa Gutzek, paraprofessional at Washington School, effective October 6th. Samantha Richardson, paraprofessional at Kennedy School, effective October 6th. And Dina Windmeyer, paraprofessional at Kennedy School, effective November 21st. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second by Pat. Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Kowalski?
Yes.
Stuchura?
Yes.
Dusecki? Yes. Downs?
Yes.
Lwania? Flanagan?
You guys know how I feel about resignations, but I will accept the yes.
Gattashewski?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Executive session. I'd like to entertain a motion, the Board of Education adjourn executive session at 7:40. 7:39 p.m. to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. Litigation on an action against affecting or on behalf of a particular body has been filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds that an action of probable or intimate in which the case of bias and finding shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of a closed meeting. Discussion of minute meetings lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act, whether the purpose of the approval of the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes is mandated in section 2.06. In the placement of individual students in special education programs and other matters relating to individual students.
That is one heck of a motion.
Are you making a motion in that, Rich?
Sure,
I'll second. Call the roll, please.
Kowalski? Stuchura?
Yes.
Dusecki, yes. Downs?
No. And the reason I'm voting no is I'm a little discouraged that we have closed session meetings and things that are discussed are leaked out into the public.
Lwania?
Yes.
Flanagan?
Yes.
Gattashewski?
Yes.
Okay.
If anyone feels the need to leave, don't forget about the fall festival this Saturday.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion that the Board of Education reconvene a regular board meeting of October 15, 2014 at 8:44 p.m. Roll, please.
Okay, I'll move.
I'll second. Call roll.
Kowalski? Stuchura?
Yes.
Dusecki?
Yes.
Downs?
Yes.
Lwania, yes. Flanagan?
Yes.
Gattashewski?
Yes.
Would like to entertain a motion, Board of Education keep the closed session meeting minutes from March of 2014 through August 2014 closed to the public.
I'll move.
Second.
Any questions? Roll, please.
Kowalski. Statura.
Yes.
Vaseki.
Yes.
Downs.
Yes.
Valado, yes. Flanagan.
Yes.
Matuszewski. Yes.
I'd like to entertain a motion, Board of Education adjourn the meeting by October 15, 2014. That's gonna be about 8:46 p.m.
Motion on.
Right. I'll second.
Kowalski. Statura.
Yes.
Vaseki.
Yes.
Downs.
Yes.
Valado, yes. Flanagan.
Yes.
Matuszewski. Yes.
Motion